baby. My name is Erfon Elijah, gadget hunter, and I've had these two beautiful beauties for 9 months. These are my stereo HomePods. Now that I've had some time to live with these HomePods, put them through a whole range of music, use them day in, day out, I thought, you know what, I should revisit. How do I like my HomePods? Oh, I'm pumped up now. My pecs, they're just bouncing up and down like Terry Crews. But let's get started with the most important thing about the HomePods. It's the absolutely insane sound quality, especially when you go stereo. And I do mean insane. One HomePod sounds really good, but you put two and you have them paired together in stereo. I'm not kidding you, the sound out of these still surprises me to this day. I put all sorts of music through these, classical music, hip hop, R&B, Stevie Wonder, Nat King Cole. These things just sing to me and they sound surprisingly good every time I boot them up. They create what I call the envelope of power. They communicate with each other and they create this envelope of music sound around you. And I kid you not, you can't even tell where the music is coming from. It's coming from above you, it's coming from behind you. One HomePod sounds good, but you put two good sounding HomePods together and they sound like Zeus is whispering into your ear. So that is the marquee feature here, lest you be confused. That's what Apple has positioned these as. They are hi-fi enabled, small, portable speakers that you can put everywhere. There's a lot of other stuff that they built in, but the sound quality is everything Apple has promised. You will not believe the insane sound that comes out of one HomePod, but then you put two together. Is it any coincidence that you have two HomePods and two nips and your nips are just growing? I don't know what that means. Think about it. The other thing I have to point out is the bass that pours out of these speakers. You will not believe when you hear. But the thing about the bass is, it's not just some soggy, soppy mess. No, this isn't Beats by Dr. Dre. The bass is supported. It's well-rounded and defined. You can actually hear the musicality in the bass notes. Yes, bass has notes. That's something that you can't hear in most consumer-grade speakers, but these serve up a beautiful, tasty platter, bon appetit, of bass notes, and you'd be like, thank you, thank you. Oh, this bass is so round and ripe, I just can't get enough of it. I listen to a lot of movie scores, so classical music for movies, and that's where these things really put out musical bass that you really will be surprised every time you hear. Okay, next up, let's talk about the Siri. I make fun of the Siri experience all the time because it's very rudimentary on the HomePods, admittedly. But if you have a lot of Apple accessories in your home, if you have HomeKit devices in your home, these will actually be extremely useful. I use these to control HomeKit devices in my studio here. I have a bunch of Philips Hue lights in the ceiling. I have a HomeKit enabled fan. I can tell these to turn the fan on and off. I can tell these to turn the lights on and off. I can set different lighting scenes, which I use all the time. I'll go from a nice, sexy mood lighting to boom, time to film. Let's get all the lights set up to 100%, turned all bright white. It saves me a ton of time and it's extraordinarily useful. So if you're in the Apple ecosystem, don't be fooled. The Siri stuff, even though limited, and I admit it is limited, it can be very, very useful. Yes, I agree the Siri isn't as smart as the Amazon Echo speakers, it's not as smart as the Google speakers, but you can ask basic questions. You can say, hey, what's the weather gonna be like? Hey, what's the temperature outside? Hey, I need you to set a 30-minute timer. These do all of that stuff very well. So for simple tasks, these are gonna deliver and give you exactly what you need to do. Now, somebody on YouTube was asking me how good these still look. He was saying, wow, I'm surprised these are still as white as they were. I would have expected them to change color. No, they still look exactly the same as they did when I bought them. I went with white thinking, oh man, these are gonna get dirty, but they haven't, and I've been touching them a lot, a whole lot. Now let's talk about some of the uglier sides of the HomePods. Now, the most popular thing, people are always complaining, oh, Big Erf, $700, $350 a piece for the HomePods, you gotta be crazy. Now, when I bought these, I paid about $300, $350 for each one of these. And I actually thought that was a decent deal because the sound quality, again, if you're gonna get a hi-fi system, you're gonna spend more than $700, I think, for speakers, for the amp, all the accoutrement that you need to build a hi-fi system. It may not even sound as good as these do, and it's gonna be missing a ton of the features. You're not gonna get any of the smart features. You're not gonna get Siri. You're not gonna get the AirPlay functionality. All those smart features that Apple has built in and all those features that Apple is going to build in the future, you will not get with a hi-fi system. So I don't think it's a fair comparison. But not only that, these speakers have dropped in price a ton. These were $350 when they launched. You can routinely find HomePods now for $250 each, and I have sometimes seen these drop as low as $200 each. So you get both these for 400 bucks. That's an insane deal! What more do you want? Now, I have a friend, the medium-sized Lewis Wallace. He's a co-host on my podcast, The Cultcast, link in the description down below. One of the things that he said about the HomePod is it sounds a little shrill. Sometimes the high notes, they sound a little crass, a little brash. You may not like them. Now, Lewis has golden ears, and I didn't believe him at first, but I have to say that is actually a fair criticism. It doesn't happen all the time, but every once in a while, you'll hit a track with some high notes, and it kind of sounds like this. Another big thing, oh, this is probably the biggest one of them all. There is still no native Spotify support built into the HomePods. And honestly, I don't know if there ever will be. Apple is trying to push this whole Apple Music thing. I don't like that Apple locks their stuff down in their ecosystem. I'm not gonna use Apple Music. I like Spotify. I've been a Spotify user for years. I like the discovery aspect of Spotify. I just think overall, it's a better music service than Apple Music. Now with my Amazon Echo, I can just tell it to play music. I can set Spotify as a native service and it will go directly to Spotify and it will grab the tune that I want to listen to. These don't do that, and it's one of the most annoying aspects of the HomePods. Can you get Spotify on your speakers? Yeah, it's actually really easy. You boot up Spotify on your phone, on your computer, and you can AirPlay the music directly to the speakers, and you can even control the tracks forward and backward from the speakers, from your phone, from your Mac. So you can do it. You just can't do it with your voice, which, hello, these are voice-controlled speakers. Apple is shooting themselves in the foot in true Cupertino fashion. They're trying to lock down their hardware and make it only compatible with their services, and it actually takes a lot away from the HomePods. If they would just open it up, let everyone come in, let everyone play Tim. Let those of us that want to use Spotify, use Spotify. Those that want to use Apple Music, use Apple Music. You might have more than an estimated 6% of the market share. People want their speakers to interact with all the other ecosystems, and these just don't do that. But here's what it all comes down to. You're not gonna care. I have surveyed the market of smart speakers, and I have not heard anything. Maybe the Google Home Max, possibly the Sonos one. I still think the HomePods are the reigning champs in stereo mode. The envelope of power that these put you in, the pure audio bliss, the supported accurate notes, I haven't heard anywhere else. And that's what keeps me hooked to the HomePod, is that envelope envelops me, my nips go boing, and I'm just in audio bliss. Every single time I listen to these, I'm continually surprised by how good these sound. The Apple accessory team that's building the HomePod and building the AirPods, they are in a golden era. They're building some of Apple's best products. I love the AirPods even more than I love these, and that's the same team, and they've got even more musical hardware on the way, and I can't wait to see what they release. I'm all in on the HomePods. I only hope that they allow you to group these into larger groups so that you could use them for like a theater mode for your television. Oh girl, I'll have 2 of these in front, 2 of these in back, 2 of these at full mast, and I'm gonna be in full bliss. So let me just conclude with this. I spent about $700 on these. I'm titillated by these speakers and the unreal sound quality that they generate. It is technological magic. I really do mean that. I absolutely love these. And speaking of magic, have you seen the other high quality videos on my channel? I'm pumping out charismatic, enigmatic, cinematic, high quality tech content on YouTube every single week, and I invite you to join the army of over 4,000 now subscribers on my channel. I'm going straight to the top, and I'm bringing all you with me. We're having a party at PewDiePie's house. Once I get there, I'm knocking on the door, and we're all going in. Go over and gently tickle the underside of that subscribe button if you enjoyed this content, because my name is Erfon Elijah, Gadget Hunter. I've got more vids on the way, and I'll see you guys next time.